Good evening, Hobo. It is amazing to see this many people here tonight for this presentation. Before we start, I have some practical information. If you're using a hearing device, this is possible to use. For those who don't know me, my name is Thomas. I live on Vej with my family, and I'm from Esbjerg originally, and I'm here today because I've moved to this city 16 years ago. My wife was from Vejle, and we chose Hobart. I'm here today because I'm also in the group who is arranging this meeting tonight. The reason we chose to move to Hobart back then is because we think a society like the one in Hobart really can something special. Look at all the flags in the city. This has a special charm. It really makes a difference. And this was a place that we chose to live where our children could grow up. The, we should also be careful about these small societies because they are fragile. They can be broken in some areas when something is not going in the right direction. Okay, so our grocery shop is now closing, but luckily we're here tonight to fix the problem. Yesterday, the shop in the town closed. It was a kind of institution in town with more than 100 years. And it's, of course, a tragedy. And you all know that what the grocery shop has meant to us. It is a meeting point for us, a place where you meet people. It has created a lot of events. You can also buy medicine there. You can send your packages. There are a lot of things that this shop offers. There are so many things to do, or that the used shop for. In the Christmas months, your child goes there to look in the sock to find candy and so on. It has a huge value for a society like ours to have a grocery shop. But now that our shop has closed its doors for the last time, it's an end point. But an ending also gives us the opportunity to make a new beginning. That's why we're here today. And I hear people laughing, talking happily together. Actually, it seems like we are approximately 250 people here tonight. It's amazingly beautiful that so many people have come tonight, and it shows that everyone is really supporting this idea of making a new grocery shop. In a moment, Hans Melgar from Dagrofa is going to tell us about my grocery shop for 45 minutes. There will be time for questions. There will be coffee and cake afterwards as well. And when you go home tonight, you will all be aware of what we have to do to have a new shop in town. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, well, those were my words. And now I will give the microphone to Hans. Seems like you have a really nice microphone. Let's applaud him. Thank you so much. Can you hear me? Is it too loud? Is it okay? All right, let's go. Well, thanks for inviting us tonight. My name is Hans Melgaard. I'm from Dagrofa, and I feel like home. I'm actually from a town close by called Nordenskov, so it's really nice to be able to talk in this dialect from around here. I've worked with grocery shops 38 years, for the last 33 years through Dagrofa, and maybe some of you remember the old days where we had many shops. Today, we have a society where we have few shops, sometimes only one. It's a paradox because when you open a newspaper, you read that big grocery shops are opening up in other cities, and it seems like all the shops nowadays are placed in big cities. And if possible, the shops nowadays want to be close to the highway. And in these small cities, we have a problem with this because some of the demands that people have are not some we can fulfill here. And then we have a situation like yours where the last shop in town is closing. Dagrofa is a grocer and we can deliver the whole assortment for all of our customers. Some of the shops we make business with is Menu, the really big supermarket. They have a fish market, butcher, and they have really, really, really big shops with a turnover close to 200 million crowns a year. It's a really big concept with a big assortment. We have Spar, which is a smaller shop. They have around 20 million crowns in turnover. They have more than 7,000 uh, products. They have wine departments, grocery departments that has to look in a right way, have a really, really strong concept with a lot of offers specifically for them. We have around 140 spa grocery shops. Then we have me and Købmand, my grocery shop, the concept we are recommending for you, which fits really well to Hobart. These are shops with a turnover close to around almost 28 million crowns a year. They have a lot of freedom, and in this shop, yeah, there's a lot of freedom. I will tell you much more about my grocery shop and how it is different from Daglibrugsen. Then we have Letkøb. Those are the like smaller shops or those types of shops we can't fit into a certain category. There is a Letkøb in Lalandia in Billund, and it's a shop that really doesn't fit in the normal pattern we see, where the grocer is much more free. Talk about ownership and the reason that Dagrofa is special. We are the last big grocer who can apply small grocery shops. Okay, we make business with independent grocery shops. This has its good and bad sides. The grocery, the grocer thinks that the money is safer in his pockets, but yeah, okay, we he's talking about some of the chains that they are working with. He's talking about KFI, which you see on the board. It makes sure that this free grocery shop is able to survive. It's a fund with 4 to 5 million crowns. Since it's a fund, it really always needs to distribute money. Every year they distribute almost 1.5, 2 million crowns to my grocery shops all around Denmark. This means that in 2022 we spend a lot of money on grocery shops because of the high prices on energy. They want to make sure that the free grocery shop survives. Therefore, they help contributing to projects like these. It's a fund you can apply to open a shop. So it also means that if you try to get a shop and it doesn't work out, then you will not have any expenses. They will cover all the expenses in like this first process, which is opening the shop. So your local shop is closing. It's unfortunately a situation that a lot of people are experiencing nowadays. So what happens next? 1.5 years ago, um, Dagrofa said that if the citizens in Hobart wants to, we will do whatever we can to support villages around Denmark to have a grocery shop. the concept we have in our company really fits well with Hober because the grocery shop has to be in between the citizens and the grocer. Unfortunately, we have experienced that in many of the places where we have shops, suddenly we have to do a lot of things to make sure that the grocery shops survive. This means that we make a lot of projects to have life in small grocery shops. Uh, and in around 400 grocery shops in small villages, we need a connection to citizens, and we need that people work voluntarily. What happens when you close a shop is that after a couple of weeks, everyone has been eating something. We haven't seen anywhere where people are hungry. In Denmark, you have so many opportunities to buy to buy food in grocery shops. Unfortunately, these grocery shops are placed in bigger cities, and people in small towns can easily drive there and buy food and groceries. So those who really suffer from the closing of shores of shops are the elderly population, those who doesn't have a car. But those of you who have a car, who work in other cities, you pass a lot of grocery shops every day when you drive from work to home. So you have a lot of places to do your grocery shopping. But those who really suffer are the elderly people or those without a car. Those who need to take a bus to go to another shop. They really suffer from a closing of a shop. 3 years ago, we had an opportunity like this in another town in Krarup, close to Silkeborg. Uh, and actually, in this little town, they closed their shop. And close by, there were a lot of different options, but to do grocery shops. But the little village, they really had a lot of voluntaries to do whatever they could to open a shop. I remember at a meeting in this little village, a little woman had one question: when are you going to open the shop? Because when the shop closed, she filled her cabinets at home with everything she could. Because she was living alone in the town, she didn't have any family. She didn't want to ask her neighbor every time she needed something to buy for her. So actually, because when she needed to make grocery shopping, she needed to take a bus to the big city Silkeborg, and she couldn't do big shopping because she couldn't carry everything. So she had a big problem when this shop in this town where she was living closed. It's problematic when small shops close for these people. Anyways, if you have any questions, please raise your hand and I will answer them. So what about people who move to the town? Newcomers. At one shop, some grocer told me about the types of customers came to his shop, and he said that every year 3% of his customers they died because there were these elderly people living in the town and only making grocery shops there. Which also means like if 3% of your customers die every year, you need newcomers. You need new people moving to your town. We had we have a case from another town where people are also building a new shop. The first night we had a real estate man coming over who was selling uh, houses in this town. Okay, he was telling about different towns where they all had schools and so on. But in one of these cities where he was selling houses, they didn't have a grocery shop. And he could see that a lot of people chose not to go to this town because they didn't have a grocery shop. They would choose they would always choose a town with a grocery shop. Yeah, the the time the owners of houses wait for their houses to be sold is 5 times as long as in a town where they have a grocery shop. Another thing we know is that when you close the grocery shop, the value of your house will go down around 20%. So it's really bad when the grocery shop closes because you lose a lot of money. It has a lot of consequences, right? When you close a shop, and we want to avoid those. Why are we going to open a supermarket in Hobart? Because actually, my grocery shop, which is the shop we want to put in Hobart, is a supermarket. It has this. Okay, we want to put a grocery shop in Hobart to make the city more attractive for newcomers. We want to create job opportunity for young people in the town. Maybe a grocery shop in Hobart could have between 6 and 8 young people working there, and it's really important for these young people to have a place to go and work to get a job locally. Also, a grocery shop, is often a meeting point for people in the town. And what we experience is sometimes that if you don't, as a citizen, if you don't have children, small children that go to the local school, you you easily and quickly use miss you lose contact with people. So that's why you need maybe a grocery shop as a place where you can go meet your neighbors or other people from town. Maybe yeah, you meet people in the shop, talk about daily lives while you're buying things. It really creates a strong connection between people and makes the city an attractive place to live. It's also good for the whole society or the society as a whole. You have to remember that even though gas prices are low right now, it makes a difference that you don't have to take your car every time you need to make grocery shops. It's not free, and it's better for the environment that you don't have to turn to get the car. You can just walk to the grocery shop. And also, if everything is going well and the grocery shop is making money, he can also support local events. He can support sports clubs or something like that. I heard about a place where the grocery shop supported the local community with 4 million crowns on a big period. So it can make a big difference for the local society to have a shop. So the company Home, the real estate company, went to a place, made a survey among young people, and they asked young people what was the first thing they looked at when they were choosing a town to go to. And the first thing they said, 47% of the people that were asked said that they were searching for a grocery shop. It actually means more for these people than the fact that there is a school. It sounds paradox, but that's what is up nowadays. Um, Unfortunately, there has been a lot of school closings around Denmark. So people are now used to the idea that they have to bring their kids to another city to go to school, but they are not used to this idea that they can't do grocery shopping in locally. So yeah, we can see that even actually the survey says that even elderly, mature people and young people all say that they want a grocery shop in their town. So the concept My Grocery is the most local, as local as it gets. We have around 160 My Grocery shops, all of them owned by an independent grocer. So a lot of people ask us, how can you have a My Grocery shop if you can't have the other shop that closed? So the main factor that makes a difference is that this shop that we are proposing has a independent grocer, a man who is his own boss. He really does what he can to earn money on this, and that makes a big difference. Yeah, we do what we can to support these small shops, but even though we support or we do what we can, the changing factor is definitely the people who has the shop, who work there daily. Because as the more money the grocery shop earns, the more money goes to these people's pockets. In these shops, The owners pay 1.8% of the turnover to this board where they go and um, make decisions on how to spend like this money that all of these different shops pay, the 160 shops around the country. In general, you can say it's these grocers' own money and own time spent on this whole shop. Yeah, we have around 160 shops of this type. You need a minimum of 160 square meters of shop area. We have around 1,400 products. I think when the shop is finished, you will have around 3,000 products in the town. We also uh, have a sorry, we have a we have sales flyers as well, which are distributed weekly. Um, so in our concern, Dagrofa, we have thousands of different products that can be distributed between our shops all over Denmark. So I think it's possible to find the right assortment, like the right products to put in your shop, the products you want, because we have so many to choose from. We have experienced that it's not possible to have a little shop that is um, driven from or that is like we can't have a shop with a central leading organ. We need a shop with a leader, local leadership to choose what products to put on the shelves. We are not deciding this from another higher level, and that makes a difference for these small shops. In the beginning, it's sometimes a little bit difficult to start to choose the right products, but we um, we're going to make some kind of survey in the beginning of the shop. When you get in, there will be a list on some papers you can fill out as customers, where you write, "Oh, I want to be able to buy, I don't know, mango fruits or something else that, yeah." And then the grocer will make sure that these products will be on the shelves so that the products fit the customers. And yeah, the it's just really important to create a dialogue with the customers about what type of products you want to have in the shop. I have an example from a village in the northern part of Denmark where there was this client who wanted a specific type of mayo, sorry, and it was actually really, really expensive. But even though the grocer made sure that it came to the shop so that this customer could buy it. And of course, we would never think about buying this type of expensive mayo. But since the customer wanted it, well, the grocer made sure it was there. And it means that when we have a dialogue, we can make sure the customer gets whatever he wants. And of course, then the customer also has a responsibility to actually purchase and buy the products that are brought home to the shop. So we have this type of products called yellow priced, which are discount products. We have around 250 items in the fixed low price program. Some, yeah, and then we have different types of office programs in different shops. Any the shops they choose how they want to make office and so on. So I have three things that are the most important. Fruits and vegetables is the group of products that is most important. The fruits and vegetables need to be fresh. We make sure that they are refrigerated, that they are cold and fresh. No one wants to bring home a little hot, bad grocery or vegetable. Many places people also want organic fruits and vegetables, so it's also something we pay attention to. The second thing we need in this shop of yours is to have a big variety of meats. That could be bacon, minced meat, beefs, different types of meat. You know, if your wife tells you you need some specific type of meat and you need to buy it on the way home from work, and maybe you pass 3 shops, and then you go to your local grocery and you find out that they don't have this specific type of meat, then guess you will stop shopping locally. Then you'll start shopping in the other shops where you know that they will have this product. So it's really important that the local shop has this special type of meat that you want. Yeah. So just talk with the grocer. He will make sure that this type of meat that you want will be available. Then of course the shop needs to offer a fast shopping opportunity. Doesn't have to. It shouldn't take a long time to make your grocery shopping. Yeah. We can make a really nice shop, but we need you as customers locally to make your shopping there. You decide if this is going to be a success or not. What is it you need in this local shop? You need to have a local pharmacy where you can buy your drugs and medicaments so that you don't need to drive for a long time to get your medicaments. You need a local bakery. There is actually an oven in Hobart, so we can use that again. Maybe you should have a local dry cleaning or a local grill house, pizza slices, burgers, French fries, and so on. If, of course, the demand is there. The possibility is there, but you just need to enter a dialogue with your local grocer. You also need a local post office. It's important for your everyday life. Many people they get packages sent to them nowadays, so it's necessary to have a place where you can fetch your packages. In many shops we make a yeah, even though it's sometimes problematic that people buy things online for like small shops, we need to have an opportunity for you to get your packages locally. We have a deal with the company called Bring that delivers packages, that they will deliver packages to your local shop. Yeah, we have a lot of there are a lot of opportunities. There we also need a place to buy flowers, have a local fish market, have a cheese store and so on. In the grocery shop locally, you need to be able to buy everything you need. We call the local shop a lighthouse, a place where people go to buy whatever they need, maybe wines and cheese and so on. We have seen that cheese is really an attractive product, and it attracts a lot of clients. And actually, maybe if you could have a shop that is specialized in cheese or something else, which would attract a lot of clients from a broad area around the town. I have an example here of a town with a small grocery shop where they sold pipes for smoking, and some of the pipes were really expensive, but people came from all over the country to buy pipes there because the grocer he had a passion for pipes. It's also important that the grocery shop can be a place where you, I don't know, support local activities and so on, place to meet. All of these things I just mentioned here are things that a discount shop doesn't offer. The concept called yellow price with yeah, we found out that we need to be attractive regarding prices. Because if we don't have good prices, a lot of people will choose not to go to the shop. So we have a assortment, like we have a lot of products that are really cheap. We call them yellow price products. And we can match the prices of, for instance, Rema 1000 and Netto and so on more than 250 products. This could be like milk or oatmeal, butter, and so on. Normal food, normal products you use in your daily life. And it's important that these products are cheap because then a lot of people will go and make their daily shopping there. I think Denmark is kind of special place in the world because we have a lot of these discount newspapers distributed, and a lot of people, they look on the prices, they do what they can to find good offers, and they drive far to get the best price. So we know that it is really, really important to be able to offer these cheap products. He's telling a story. He's telling about an example of a place where people were shopping in two different places, but they always chose this, like, my grocery shop to buy products with yellow price because they had a really good price. Sometimes, you might pay, I don't know, a couple of crowns more for a product, but you won't pay 7 or 8 crowns more on a product locally if you can get it somewhere else. So it's just really important to be able to offer cheap products. 5, 6 years ago, a lot of people asked if my grocery shop wasn't too pricey, too expensive. Maybe it was, but nowadays we have found a good level of prices which can compete with other discount shops. So we have these sales flyers, kind of small newspapers with special offers. They are distributed once a week, 52 weeks a year, and they have around 8 to 24 pages each. Uh, we also have, there is an app called Tilbudsavis, it's in Danish, where you can find all the cheap prices in different shops around Denmark. And I think we can actually compete with these cheap prices. We know for sure that being able to sit with a physical, like a printed sales flyers, is important for people still. Yeah. Dagrofa has actually a strong portfolio of their own brands. We stand behind a large number of private or like own brands. We have, for instance, First Price. Maybe you know it. It's a cheap alternative on discount products. We also have something called Gestes, which is like mainstream, good quality products, and then we have Green Balance, organic, and environmentally safe products. So the discount brand First Price is a series of products which contain of good groceries at a low price. We have around 300 items in total, and this amount of items is growing all the time. Then we have the series called Gestus, which is also a good quality food label. It's a series of tasty fruit products, affordable and of good quality. It's every day of the week should taste good, whether it's an ordinary Monday or a festive Friday. Gestus can do that with good quality flavors, even on an everyday budget. The range consists of more than 600 food products, and the products come from all around Europe, all around the world. They are really good quality food. Yeah, and the price is competitive. It's good. Then we have the Green Balance, which is caring for you and the environment. It's with food, household, and personal care products. It's Green Balance is the natural choice for those who want to eat organic food, protect the environment, and avoid problematic chemicals in their personal care and household products. This is where we have, for instance, our organic milk. We have made a market analysis to see if it's doable to put a my grocery shop in Hobart. We have an analysis department. It sounds fancy, doesn't it? And with one guy, he does nothing else than make market analysis. He's from Co-op and he knows all about making analysis. He looks at a market area, primarily and secondary market area, and he looks at number of inhabitants, number of houses, number of inhabitants per house. He looks at how many working places are there in the town. He's also been he's analyzed if it's a good idea to put a new shop here on the triangle plot at the main road or place the new supermarket where the original shop is placed. We expect that we can earn 13.4 million crowns here in Hobart, actually, on a turnover. Does it mean that you would have to buy all of your products with the Dagrofa? And no, we have seen that this area actually spends around 20 million crowns a year on grocery shopping. And we don't expect that you will buy 100% of all your products in this town, in this shop, but we expect that you will spend around 13.4 million crowns. Of course, we might not be able to sell all the products you wish, but you should definitely buy all the ordinary things for your everyday life here in your local shop. That's important for it to survive. Is it realistic to make a new shop here? Well, we have just opened two new shops in two other villages, and they are actually having a turnover above what we have expected. And if we look at the complete experience with these new grocery shops, we have we think it has been really a positive experience, much more positive than expected. We see a development in the turnover, that the turnovers in these places is growing. Of course, to make a new shop also implies in people buying shares locally, right? And which makes people also shop there locally because they have invested in the local shop. But we see even though people have purchased purchased shares locally, they also spend more money there. What is important is that you need to change your behavior. You need to decide if you want the shop and then support it, or if you don't. But if you support it, we will have a really nice shop. We have to find a man or a woman, a grocer who can lead the shop. For the last three times I have held a presentation like this, I have actually had two or three people afterwards coming to me and saying, "Hey, I would like to lead this shop of yours that you're going to build." The nice thing about making a shop like this is the amount of freedom that a future grocer gets. So it's a funny task. We need someone who is happy, who is talkative, who's outgoing, talks with people, who is smart, open-minded, and good at entering a dialogue with people so that people can say what they want and he can get these things. We need someone with a smile in his eyes, someone who burns for this task. We don't need someone who is just looking in his computer or looking into the cashier, who doesn't look people into the eyes, who doesn't smile. No, we don't need someone like this. We need someone who wants to talk with people, who wants to be a part of the local society. I'm sorry, yeah. We need someone extroverted, not someone who doesn't talk with people, who might be good at like making businesses, but yeah, not good at talking with people. Remember I talked about the fund KFI? They will help this opening process or beginning process. Maybe financially they can help out with funding a an education for this specific type of person who is outgoing, to teach him how to do business, right? How to do this more like business part of his daily job. So yeah, we have been looking at your facilities here in Hobart, the shop you have right now. We think that it's durable. We can definitely open a new shop there. And then we have looked into what needs to be changed in order to make this little shop come true. We want to do something more than just put up a new sign. We need to do some modernization of the shop because we need a beautiful shop, a shop with like good quality, um, everything. We need a shop that looks nice and tidy and is ready for people to come buy things. So we have looked on areas where we want to spend some money. We want new lighting. We want a new sales area. We would like to renovate the cash register and like payment area. We want some signs, packaging that looks in a nice way. We want new refrigeration and freezing. We want to, for instance, paint the ceilings, install new lights, and renovate the property. And you can see the pricing estimate for all of these things on the right side. Besides this, Dagrofa has inventory that they will like give to the new shop area for to place grocery to place fruits and vegetables and so on. But it was doable and possible to make a really nice shop with a few changes only. What do you need to do? How to make it happen? Yeah, we want people to stay motivated. We want to build support for our shop, setting up a limited liability company that owns property and inventory. And then we want people to do most of their grocery shopping in the store. We want to make sure that the the gas station stays as well because it's really important for the daily economy. These are some of the points we will have to work with after this meeting, work more with. And yeah, like I said, you should really do most of your daily grocery shopping in the store. So, a little bit more about the grocer. He has the opportunity to become his own boss and earn money. And he provides a very good retail space at a low rent. Sorry, this shop will provide a very good retail space at a low rent for a new grocer. And we want to develop a shop with attractive goods, a competitive concept, and local support from the beginning. Why does the Grover do all of this? We are also a business like any other businesses. We have found a concept that fits with this size of villages. We uh, we think it's important to make sure that these small villages survive because when they survive, we can maintain our shops, work together, uh, yeah, and we work together with the local grocers so that we make sure that we have the right products people need and so on. And we learn a lot from these experiences. And we, as the grocer, we want to be an active sparring partner with local citizens and the grocery store. And then we want to ensure a competitive chain concept with the right grocery store. We want to create growth in turnover. That's our motivation. So, how do we reach the finish line? We need to set up a working group. So far, we have already made the first working group. Then we need to analyze the project and the financial situation. Then we need to make a limited liability company. We need to find a grocer, someone who has to work in the shop. We need to modernize the existing shop. We need to make another citizens meeting like this one to talk about all the steps. Yeah. So when we make this limited liability company, we need to make sure we have a board who take decisions. We can't have 250 people wanting to decide everything. You need to make sure that you choose a smaller group that make the decisions. And then you have the grocer who's independent that you help out and you rent out the facilities for him. We always open these shops on Thursdays and then we will serve hot breads and coffee on a Thursday morning in the future, whenever you're ready. I think you will be able to open a shop like this between the 1st of September or 1st of October, between these dates. I have placed subscription forms at the entrance where you can write down how many shares you want to buy. Every share costs 2,500 crowns. You can buy 4, you can buy 10 or 1, but make sure you only put the name of one person per share. If you're a family with a man and a wife, you need to put your names, both of your names, separately. So the man is on one share and the woman is on another share, and then you have to buy 2. When we think we have enough money, we will ask you to deposit the money on our account, and then we are able to open the limited liability company, choose a chief director, and choose a board and get it running. So, for instance, there is a question here, and he's answering. If you buy shares for 5,000 crowns, you are you is you're responsible for these 5,000, and you can lose them if the company goes bankrupt. That's what you will lose, but yeah, that's the risk. You will not lose anything more. Maybe you've bought shares for like 5,000, um, and all the people have bought shares for, let's say, 1 million crowns, but then the company goes bankrupt and has a debt of, let's say, 2 million crowns. You are only accountable for the money you paid, so the shares of 5,000, you will not lose anything more than that because it's a limited liability company. You're only liable for what you have put into the company. The guy or woman who is going to work there locally, who's going to be the grocer, will have to buy shares in the company as well because he will be the owner, he will be independent, and he will have to buy shares as well. As a company, Dagrofa is able to lose money on this like credit on the everyday sales, but the people who buy shares will not lose more than they pay for. So if you're afraid that this won't go well, you should just buy a little bit of shares. If you have this dream of being an independent grocer and you have a little bit of money to pay, then I think you should start it. It's a really small risk. And if one of you has this little dream to become the grocer, please come up and talk with me afterwards. We are going to make a contract, a rent contract, um, between the owners of the buildings, and the grocer. The grocer is going to rent the shop, and he will be responsible of uh, maintaining the equipment in the shop. It's not going to the maintenance of inventory is not going to depend on the owners of the shop, like the owners of the building, which is you here in Hobart. Whenever you sign this contract, you are in. You'll be responsible. We also accept presents, gifts, and sponsorship from sponsor amounts from companies or people or anyone else. We accept everything happily. We will be really happy to receive some kind of support, economical support. Just remember that if you don't have a if you don't have a local shop, your house might lose value. So maybe it's worth buying shares for, let's say, 10,000 if you make sure that your house doesn't lose 20% of its value. You can, yeah, you buy a share, you make sure you get a grocery shop, and you maintain your house value. We need these uh, subscription forms. We need to get them to see if we have the right support, and only when we make the company we will ask you to deposit the money. If we see that not enough people are willing to support it, to buy purchasing shares, we will not ask you to deposit any money. Then we'll, yeah, just forget about the project. Also, whenever you sell a house to someone, you should involve the new house owners into this project we are getting we are talking about right now. We really want you to have a cool and nice experience when we're going to open the shop. We want it to be a wow. If we want to make a wow effect, we want you to be amazed of how nice and beautiful it is. We want to show you that you are really getting value for money. You will get a nice shop because you have invested in it, and we are going to make sure that it's going to be the best shop for you. So I would like to talk more about this practical part of it. If you are sitting right now and you know that you are going to support this project, like let's say that you want to buy 4 shares, then it's possible to make a subscription already now. We have a little mailbox down there where you can write that you are supporting this project, not necessarily paying for anything, but just saying that you are going to support it. You might pay some, you might invest in this. We need to know this by now, or as soon as possible, if you guys want to support this idea of creating a new shop, because we have this little committee of volunteers who are who is working towards a new shop, and in order for us to continue our job, we need to know if you guys are supporting this idea or not, for it to make sense for us to work and use time on it. If you prefer to hand over the subscription form or just declaration of your support personally, you can also do that. You can go to this woman called Inga's house and hand a subscription form or support to her. Hand over it to her. We might also need people willing to do some physical work to, I don't know, help out with the painting works, or I don't know, screwdrivers, like to do this like physical transformation. We really need some help for that as well. We would like you also to tell us now if you're willing to help out with some of like the more practical tasks. We're going to make different working groups in the future. Some take care of the more practical things, some take care of other things. If you know by now you would like to help out with something, just please let us know. We will be glad to have you help out. It might be a good thing for you to have more purchasing shares, because we are going to make a little competition. Um, Maybe we will make a lottery and take uh, choose some of the people who have shares to allow to get a present or something, a gift. If you have more than one share, then you can maybe participate in a small competition to win prizes. That could be an advantage in purchasing more than one share. There will be some activities like this. I will. Someone is asking about the GDPR, about GDPR, and the guy talking right now. I will be able to tell more about GDPR. It's not going to be published who buys how many shares and who doesn't. It's private, and no one will know. We make sure that it doesn't get out. Nice question. What are your experience with? Okay, yeah, I was thinking about people living in the town from foreign countries. Do you have any experience with products that are different, like local products from some of the countries where these um, immigrants come from? Do you know if it's a thing that like some of the grocers purchase things from like maybe let's say Romania or Ukraine. Now he's answering that we have some special products actually, but I think we will be able to support most needs. Some time ago, or recently, I visited a little town where they have a lot of people from Thailand, or maybe it was Vietnam, and even there, they were able to purchase Vietnamese products, actually. We have everything. Take, for instance, the shop called Spa. They have two or three gluten-free products, or two or three brands of gluten-free or vegan products. We have shops in bigger cities where a lot of people don't eat pork, for instance. Where we have a lot of different products that can I don't know that can satisfy these clients with special needs. And the grocer, if he has freedom, so if he's able to purchase any product, he has the freedom to do so. He can do whatever he can to purchase these special products. Actually, he has the freedom. I know, for instance, also that here in Hobo you have some locally produced beers, or you have local groceries like potatoes or strawberries and so on. These products are also able to be sold in our shops. The only place we have advantage is regarding meats. Um, if you want to sell special meats, they need to be accepted from the authorities. Like we can't just sell any locally produced meats, but most products are able to be sold in our shops, like local products, honey or beers and other things and so on. So yeah, it's not a problem at all to sell special groceries, special products. I think that before you start anything, you should definitely find a grocer. So I'm also thinking about this limited liability company. Is it able to loan the money and get some good interests? Uh, yeah, if you not donate, but if you buy shares, you shouldn't expect getting your money back, but you will have shares in this shop, and you'll have a shop, and that's going to be worth your money. If you want to see a my grocery shop somewhere, you can visit Agerbæk, close to Hobart, where they have a really nice shop, just like the one we are um, going to make in Hobart, hopefully. They are talking about the existing shop, or the shop that just closed, Daglibrugsen, and what they're going to do now that the shop is closing. The people that are voluntarily working for it, like the committee behind the shop, is not going to close down. They will continue, uh, let's say, working and prepare the building to be rented out for this new shop. We Yeah, the building is secured, and we will be able to rent it out. So the idea is that you rent out the house, and we keep the gas station, because it also earns us a lot of money each year. So what you invest in is to have the shop, and because it makes a difference for the value of your houses, it makes a difference in your daily life. You shouldn't think of it as a normal investment in like when you invest in other companies where you can just sell your shares and earn money, and then it's not this type of share. It's different. It's something that makes a difference for you directly in your daily life. We are lucky here in Hobart that we already have the buildings in Hobart, because it makes this process cheaper. We don't need to purchase new buildings. So we are going to make a limited liability company. Um, and the money we get from the shares, we are going to invest in inventory in the new shop, and also in some of the things we talked about before that we're going to change, like painting and lighting and yeah, equipment for freezing and so on. Money is going to be spent on these things, the renovation costs and so on, so that we are able to have a new shop. We are having this meeting tonight to learn if you guys here from Hobart are willing to support a new shop. We want to see what's the we want to take the temperature of people. So there was a question about what is the state of the building. And this guy now is talking about that the building is in a good state, doesn't need any new roof or anything else. It is in a good state. We just need to paint it out on the outside and so on. Um, and for future maintenance, we actually earn money having the gas station each year, and this money we can spend on maintenance of the building, so like for painting and renovation and so on. So you guys won't have to pay a lot for that. Someone asked if someone asked if they wanted to sell the building where there was the old shop, and then he said that they're not thinking about doing that right now. Um, it is possible, but not for now. So how much money do you need to open a shop? Is it what, 800,000? Then the man replied that I think we should try to get 1 million crowns in shares. With this money, we want to have a brilliant, sharp shop for you guys. We definitely need around 600 to 700,000 crowns because we need to purchase new refrigeration and freezing equipment for around 400,000 crowns at least, and then we need money for other things. Thanks for tonight. I'm going to end the video.